Thank you for tuning in. Welcome to a new episode of the Passion for Technology podcast by EBV Electronic.
The semiconductor industry is struggling to cope with the huge demand for its products. Although expansion of production capacities is being heavily worked on, it will be a few years before this has any effect. That's why industry experts are calling for supply chains to be optimized and for them to be made more resilient. Today's guest will help us understand what that might look like and how a distributor like EBV Electronic can help. Thorsten Eile is leading EBV Electronic's new business unit, LogOn. LogOn is where EBV Electronic aggregates various logistics services for its customers now. Hi, Thorsten.
Hello, Mustafa. And first of all, thanks a lot for the invitation.
My pleasure. Thorsten, what is LogOn and why is it needed?
LogOn is a short description for logistics only. And this is a very good example of innovation at EBV Electronic. We, as a separate sales region, are the specialists at EBV when it comes to logistics challenges and fulfillment projects. We founded LogOn in order to respond to the changes and development in the distribution business. We have been known in the market as a pure demand creation distributor only over the last 50 years. But in the last few years, more and more manufacturers have decided to carry out demand creation. Of course, we have to accept this. It also presents an opportunity that we have seized with LogOn. And now we have a mix. So we are covering both areas, demand creation and services.
What are the benefits of LogOn to EBV's customers, that is, the manufacturers who integrate the semiconductor components with their respective products?
So one important customer group is companies that, for example, only work with EMS. We call them contract manufacturers. They have no idea, especially in the current context, what quantities the EMS has ordered and from whom, and whether the parts are approved by the end customer. That's why we started the Single Point of Contact project. The result, the EMS firms are serviced by LogOn on a project-related base depending on the end customer's priority stipulations. We distribute the goods to the EMS in accordance and agreement with these stipulations. And the second market for LogOn, key market, is the OEM transfer called TEM to DTEM. 2 years ago, we kicked off the project and we are in very intensive collaboration with multiple suppliers. This lets us give our suppliers a chance to transfer the direct business to us if they feel they can't manage the logistic challenges themselves. We have a systemic setup exclusively for LogOn that gives customers and suppliers 100% visibility across all key parameters.
Thorsten, I have to ask, how's business?
Actually, the chip crisis gave us a boost. We had so many projects and activities coming in during the last 2 years. And without the business trips, most of our people were available, more or less every day. Looking back, we managed to complete several projects in half of the usual time. And that's reflected in the workforce evolution too. So we are now speaking about more than 50 people who are working for LogOn. We were able to double the figures from 2020 to 21, thanks to new solutions like Spock and TEM to DTEM. And we believe that there's a great opportunity to grow a further 30% in 2022 and 23. The outlook is really promising.
A seemingly logical outcome would be buffer stores for semiconductor products. Is that an option? I've heard one manufacturer state that storing semiconductors indefinitely wouldn't be possible.
We call this type of buffer stock security stock. And this means that whenever the customer has a line down situation, they can fall back on the goods and continue production. And coming back to the question regarding the date code limit. So most of our customers have a date code limit of 12 months. But the goods can, of course, be used beyond this. We have also implemented the FIFO principle in our warehouse. This means that the goods are continuously rotated. And as of summer 2022, we at EBV Electronic, together with our sister company ALS, Avnet Logistics, in Point will also be providing a long-term storage. And the concept enables storage for up to 10 years.
You also hear again and again that supply chains have to become more transparent. What does that mean exactly? How could that increase supply chain resilience?
Complete transparency is king. When it comes to electronic data exchange is essential for this. Additionally, the customer has to take a more long-term approach. Let's talk about 3 years or more. If the customer places order over a period longer than 12 months, This provides us much more safety in terms of planning. Long-term agreements covering a period of 3 years with a fixed quantity structure or capacity reservation and which are concluded between the customer, the manufacturer, and LogOn could be a very good solution.
What sort of customer segments would be interested in the services offered by LogOn?
1 year ago, we divided LogOn into 4 segments. And that means we have specialists for automotive business, for the EMS business, for the temp to detemp business, and for large industrial customers. So in a nutshell, all customer segments are covered by LogOn.
LogOn being created as a new business unit, was that a direct action by EBV Elektronik to deal with the disrupted semiconductor supply chains?
No, the idea was born in 2017. We founded LogOn in order to respond to the changes and development in the distribution business. Ultimately, manufacturers, customers, and LogOn, this is a complete solution, a so-called three-party solution. We are the partner to provide just logistics and associated services. They can rely on us.
Earlier you mentioned the TAM to DTAM initiative is at the heart of the LogOn offering. I'm no logistics expert. Could you please explain what that means?
Sure. Many manufacturers have a direct business relationship with the customer, and we can provide support if they can no longer handle this from a logistics point of view. With TAM to DTAM, total available market to distribution total available market, they can transfer the direct business to us. LogOn has developed a setup for this. It helps both customers and manufacturers to maintain complete transparency. We have implemented the entire TAM to DTAM concept electronically in order to meet all requirements. Ultimately, we also relieve the pressure on the manufacturer as they can focus on their core strength, manufacturing components, and we take over the supply chain for them.
Torsten, what other services are part of the LogOn offering?
We offer all logistic services the customer is familiar with from EBV Elektronik. For example, this includes buffer stock, forecast management, end-of-line logistics, and, as I said, beginning of summer 2022, long-term storage. Additionally, we have our own price list for additional services. The customer can then choose for themselves what additional logistics service they require.
From what I understand, you are implementing a peak management service. Could you give me an idea of what this service does?
Yes, peak management mechanisms can be employed to avoid line-down situations, with customers able to access buffer stock. This means they are fully prepared should unexpectedly high levels of demand be experienced. The advanced tools used by our team enable far more accurate forecasting of future component requirements. Any prospective risk of shortage can be pinpointed and addressed before they become problematic.
What does warehousing look like for EBV Elektronik?
We are part of the Avnet family, and with that we have a common solution called Avnet Logistics. We have 2 locations right now in Europe, one in Poing and one in Tongeren. And we are right now in the preparation phase for a third warehouse near to Leipzig. Avnet Logistics is our backbone regarding the logistic challenges. Very experienced, modern, and we trust in them.
A question that's top of mind for many firms and consumers. How much longer do you think will the semiconductor shortage persist?
In truth, that is the question that concerns us all. So let me take a look to my crystal ball, and I think it will last until end of 2023. And the reason for that is obvious and very simple. The demand is increasing globally every year in all fields, from the automotive segment to consumer electronics. And at the same time, the expanded production capacities will only start to have an impact, positive impact, in 2023.
Torsten, you're super interested and super passionate about technology and obviously also logistics. I'd love to know when and how you developed your individual passion for technology and logistics.
Exactly. And if I take a look to the statement from the famous Simon Sinek, the meaning is customers will never love a company until the employees love it first. And this is exactly what I mean. So I love my company and I'm absolutely convinced that we do the right things. And in addition, I'm really happy and proud to be part of the EBV family and its management.
Thank you, Torsten, for the insights that you've shared with us today. Dear listeners, if you'd like to get in touch with Torsten, you can reach out to him on LinkedIn. That's Torsten, Thorsten, and Eyle spelled Eyle. You can find more info in our show notes, including the link to the EBV Elektronik website. please feel free to subscribe to our podcast, Passion for Technology, on either Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or any of the other popular podcasting platforms. Thank you, Thorsten.
Thanks a lot, Mustafa, and the chance to speak a little bit about my passion, logistics.